Hi everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. So if you're joining me and today is the 16th, 17th, or 18th, then you are just in time to get in on Stampin' Up's seasonal sale. So it's kind of replacing the Black Friday because, as you probably know, Stampin' Up is around the world, and Black Friday, Thanksgiving's a uniquely American holiday, which as somebody who's been blessed to live in other countries, it was always fun to celebrate Thanksgiving when we live someplace else. So, you know, they kind of moved the seasonal sale. And as here's another thing, as a business owner who has a business who also hosts Thanksgiving the week of her birthday, whenever we had the Black Friday sales, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't want to have to work on Black Friday. I didn't want to have to answer emails and put in orders. So I like that they've kind of moved it. So the seasonal sale is 10% off cardstock, 15% off inks, and 20% off dies that are in the annual catalog. So if you go to my website, I have the list of exactly which items are on sale. It's the regular cardstocks. It's not designer series papers. It's most of the dies and the classic inks. So you can find exactly which ones are on sale, like the shimmery white is. And if you follow my channel, you know that's my favorite cardstock. So I will be stocking up on that because when you can get that 10% off. So there's that. And then if you join Stampin' Up and you become part of my team during this 3 days in November, the kit is normally $99. Always the best deal because you get pick whatever you want of $125 and put it in the kit. But right now it's just $75. And if you do it over these 3 days, then you can put those things that are 10, 15, and 20% off in the kit at the sale price. So you get even more for your $75 because if you pick dies that are 20% off, you get more of them for $75. And then there's a bunch of benefits. Being on my team, all of my online video classes are free. You never pay for one. So there's that. There's a ton of information on my website and in my email. So if you're not on my email list, you can join it by going to my website, but you can also read about it there. Then my free gifts with purchase in November are the Garden Gems, which are a limited edition. You can see them on this card. This tutorial, when you go to see it, I walk you through some of my favorite dies. But it has the gold holly leaves, which are just for the sale, an additional free gift with purchase. And then here's the Garden Gems. I included the rose and gold paper because a lot of you got that free from me last month. So I wanted you to see how to kind of use it all together. And you can also get the snowflakes from me free. And then every month I do a VIP video. And just for those people who purchase off my website, it doesn't include classes. It's just a perk for ordering from me. Because that's what helps pay my bills, then you're a part of my VIP videos. And so you can get just the videos, you can get the products to make it mailed to you. It's just all depending on how much you spend every month. All that's on my website and in my emails. So I'm going to use 3 different dies just because if they're on sale, I'm going to show you some of my favorites. And I did point some of these out to you in yesterday's video. And then I'm going to use a couple of cardstocks. One of the cardstocks I'm going to use is in the holiday catalog. And it's not on sale, but it looks super cool on this card. So let's get going with the dies. So this, I'll have all the links to them down under the video. So this one is the stitched leaves. I may get some of the names wrong because Stampin' Up put this sale. So I have the garden, my Eden's Garden class. Printed all the labels for that this morning, going out in the mail today. We had on stage last week. Then we have the sale. So there's just a lot going on. And I was on the phone this morning with my sister about my dad's heart appointment, trying to get out this, have a meeting today, have a lot. So this, run it through and it makes a fabulous background. It just takes one pass. And I really liked it on this craft colored cardstock. And I think you'll really like the feel of the card when it's finished. It has a little bit of a nature, a little bit of a 70s vibe to it. I do find that I need the take your pick tool just because my skin in the winter especially is a little dry, and this is really pokey, this die. But look, you just pull this up and it puts this great impression into it. Isn't that cool? Super, super cool. So we got that. So that'll make our background so we don't need a folder. And then I'm going to use the Picture This. So this one comes with the rectangles and with the circles. And this is the shimmery white. The shimmery white cardstock is not white. It's not vanilla. It's a great in between. But it has the shimmer coating on it, which makes it beautiful. And I could always just use it and never use white or vanilla and be perfectly happy in my life. I could just have it. But it also, that shimmer coating allows it to hold up to water and some other techniques. Better than just the other because it doesn't pill when you do stuff to it, which is what we're going to do on this one. So when you run this or the circle one through, and if you've been in my classes, we've used it several times in classes and I've run it through for you. So if you don't have it yet, because I've always done it for you, this is the perfect time for you to get it. So it gives you this great window frame. So this is the part we're going to use on this card. So now we've got this nice little layer, and then I always have a little tray on my desk where I keep dies like this that we've now popped out, and see they have that fun stitching, but I don't need them on this card. And so these will make great little tags, and you can put them on something else, and they're stitched and they're in shimmer white and they're ready to go for something else. So you may see those later in the next week or two, make it onto a project. Now here's another piece of just scrap shimmer white, and I'm going to use the iconic dies. So I've got a mushroom, a bee, a bird. There's some flowers in this set. I was trying to keep it kind of feeling a little bit fallish. So we still have leaves, we still have birds. Our yard right now has a bunch of toadstools, and it also has snow. It has snow. It snowed Sunday, and then yesterday I looked out and it was snowing. We have lots of really pretty red and yellow trees still, but we've also had some snow, which makes for some beautiful weather. So roll these through. I'm going to pop these onto a piece of scrap paper because we are going to color them. Well, I lost my leaf. So some of them will pop out really well. This little mushroom has little circles that fall out. So you can see this one has the circles that fall out, and then it has some nice lines. I'll take some close-up pictures and put them on my website so you can see the details that these dies, there's tons of details in them. I should have pulled a new plate out because my plate's making it stick. So here's our bee. Here's one of our leaves. So the leaf is an overlay and an underpiece, or you can use them two separate. I debated when I did mine. Then we have the bird. And then the second leaf. So here's the under part, and you can see it has another really nice pattern to it. So for these, here's our dies. Remember, the dies are 20% off. The cardstock is 10% off, and now our inks are 15% off. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to use, I picked some of my favorite colors, and they also coordinate with the Garden Gems, which are a limited edition and while supplies last. So I pulled out the Happy Birthday from the Art Gallery stamp set. I'm going to stamp it in Bermuda Bay, which is one of my favorite colors. So we got that. And then I'm going to use my water painter. And I have a series of how-to videos. This is going to be on one, so be watching because it's going to have a how-to. I'm going to start with my lightest color. And I may have to, okay, here's the deal. I'm getting ready to go out today, and I am dressed. But I still have my pajama pants on because I'm ready from the top up. I'm like a newscaster, even though you can't see me. But I think that I ended with Bermuda Bay, and I didn't clean my brush off, so I'm going to wipe it on my pajama pants. So I'm going to take this is Blushing Bright, and you can see I've squished it on there. So I'm going to start with my lightest color and work up, although I did go back down. So with the water painter, you're going to push it. Be watching because I'm going to give you an in-depth lesson on how to use these. So this is where the shimmer white is great to have. So I'm just going to brush this over my mushroom. I'm going to try to stay to one side more to get most of the ink off. It's easier when I'm not trying to have it so people can see. So that's it for that for now. And then let's move to our Cajun Craze. These other three colors are all pretty dark, so it doesn't really matter. And you can see on this one, I pulled this down so I could go with some lesser Cajun. Now you can do this on the white and vanilla, but you put this much water on and you pretty much have to stop, because if you keep rubbing, then it's going to start to pill. So now I've got a coat of the light, and now I'm going to go back in here and pick up a little bit of stronger. Just kind of add a little bit of, and one more. Gives it a nice little bit of shading. And you can just kind of let the water go where it wants. Now I'm going to go to the Cherry Cobbler. Cajun Craze and Cinnamon Cider are two of my favorite colors right now, because it's fall. And colors kind of do that, so you might check, because you may have been using lots of bright colors right now because it's been summer. And then I can go all year and not use Cherry Cobbler until September hits. So I'm going to do as light as I can, and you can see my Cajun kind of mixed in with that, but that's okay because it kind of gives the color of fall, right? So I'm just going to brush that over that, just like that. Now I'm going to go over here where this ink is super dark. I do have a how-to on how to use your ink pads start to finish, from taking them out of the shrink wrap all the way to when you need to re-ink them. How to store them, how to use them. And I want this to stay dark, so I'm just going to kind of dab this on here. And look, same ink, but just according to how much we put on our brush, gives us that fun look. And then I'm going to take this while it's still got a little bit of cherry on it, and I'm going to brush it in with this. So we have a little bit of difference on our Blushing Bride. Same up here. Just kind of clean my brush off so it gets a little bit lighter, but it gives a little bit of matching. So you can see that Cherry Cobbler and Cajun Craze, you might not think that those are a similar ink color, but when you get them on here, they work really nice together. Now, while I've got a little bit of orange-ish, reddish, add that to his feet. I'm going to go back to my Bermuda Bay. This is where you need to kind of squeeze this and kind of just clean it out a bit. It works better if you have your chamois on the table. I have a how-to with the chamois coming up too. I have a whole list of how-tos, and that's kind of my plan for December, is to have a bunch of how-tos. So I'm going to see where I kind of got this light. Brush the light. So we have a little bit of a bluebird. And then I'm going to go back again and pick that up and get this a little bit darker. I don't want everywhere to be dark because I don't want this to be like a Bermuda Bay bird. But I do want some hints of the darker. And then I'm going to take this, and you know, the beautiful fall leaves that we do still have mixed with our snow. I kind of have that fun differences of color. And then I'm going to mix, and this kind of adds a bit of a tinge of gray with the Blushing Bride. And I'll put some up close pictures so you can kind of really see what this is doing. And then one more little color and we're done with this. So I'm going to go back to my Cajun Craze. Now that I know where all my colors are, I've just buried my card backing with all of my ink pads. I'm going to just grab it. It has a little bit of blue still on it, so it's not going to be as dark Cajun. Kind of give him a little bit there for his beak and the tips of his toes. Kind of hit that there in the middle as well. Okay, now we just have to put this together. See, this is why when I pick up my, I will tell you not to do that in my how-to, but you know, I'm filming and I want to get this done. So let's take this, give that a second to just soak into the paper. Just gonna hand trim this. People, you learned how to use your scissors in kindergarten. Don't be afraid. It does not have to be straight. It doesn't have to be perfect. Don't try to make it perfect, because if you try to make it perfect and then you go off just a tat, it looks worse than just being, this is a natural, organic kind of card. Just go with it. So we have that. Just trim around it as close as you can without getting right up to the letters, because if you get right up, then that's too close. Okay, now here's the fun thing. The back of my card, just jade. The gems that we are going to use are Succulent and Cherry Cobbler. So they We do have Cherry Cobbler on our card, but we don't have Just Jade. But Stampin' Up's colors work so well together that if you go check your ink collection and your cardstock collection before the sale ends to make sure that you have all the colors that you need. I can't find this because my desk is a hot mess. Don't think that you have to have everything. Like if you don't have this Just Jade ink pad, but you want to see the color, go ahead and get the cardstock, because look, that coordinates. Our stuff coordinates so nicely. So go ahead and get some stuff and kind of try it out in either the ink or the paper, and don't feel like you have to have everything matchy. Eventually you will, because you know it's a thing, but you don't have to start if you're just starting out. So I'm going to put this fun craft piece here. And then I'm going to take this piece here, and to give it the fun organic, this is just from our basic twine. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive on the back of this. And on my other one, I tied it. And here's the reason I tied it, is because I added it at the end. I may have the windows opposite. It doesn't matter, but I may have them opposite of, I think I do, of what I have on my other one. So our stuff will be going the other direction. It just goes to show you don't have to do everything the same way twice. But I didn't really want a bow on the other one, but I'd already stuck it all together. So I had to go with what I had. This time I don't have to have a bow because I've stuck it on before my card stem. So now I want to pop this up to give the windows that extra added window feel. So grab my dimensionals, put some obviously in these large spots to help keep it popped up. And then right here where that ribbon is, I'm gonna just take a piece of, let's do this one right here, it's nice and thin, because you don't want to waste any of this dimensionals. I'm just gonna put right over the top of those, and then that'll help keep that sealed in. Oh no, I think I did it the same direction. So put those there. And then I'm gonna use my fine tip glue. Start with our, and every time you color these, they're gonna look a little bit different. Just because the ink's never gonna color the exact same way, but that's okay. Again, we're going for organic. Take our happy birthday. Add a little bit of glue there. Put that there. Let's get our bird, and I know the only part that's gonna overstick a window are her feet and the top of her head. So just make sure you get those. But this glue sticks well enough that as long as those parts are touching, she will stay on the card. My other one, I bent it because I was not talking. There we go. And then let's get our bee. And then our leaf. So you start with the bottom. And then you do the overlay, which is why I wanted this top one to be a completely different color of the same color, because they're both cherry. Add those on like that. And then you don't want to move it until it's had time for it to set. My favorite thing about the fine tip glue is it has this little needle, because you know how many times have we gone to use a glue that we haven't used for a couple weeks, and the top has sealed shut. You just stick that right back in there, and then it doesn't seal shut. So now the Garden Gems, which are my free gift with purchase in November, they're also part of my card club, which is my subscription service. It's filled for November, but you can always join the next month. And again, this is soft succulent, so it's not one of the colors that we have on the card, but it works perfectly because our colors coordinate so nicely. And in fact, with this one, because of the way these colors kind of blended up here, they have a purple tinge, and this kind of makes the iridescence on them turn a little purple. Putting these in a different spot than they are in my first card. Whoops. See, you need to let it set a minute. My first time I did. This time I'm trying to get it done so you can see it. But it's got that glue on there so it'll stick. So we've got those to add like a little flower effect. And then down here, look how much fun this is. I'm going to take, oops. Well, where's my take your pick? I just lost my, we're gonna play a little bit of Operation from when we were a child. Look at how good at that game I was. You can't quite go in that one because it's as big as the circle. But we can just fill this in with some of our little cherry gems. Can have a fun little mushroom. We can get one more big one. Oh, I did it again. Here we go. Let's see if I can get this one over in it now. My mushroom is still wet, so it's moving. There we go. Perfect. Then for one last little touch, just because this card, kind of like the frosted end of autumn, I just took my Wink of Stella and just added a tiny bit of frost. Because you know, you can never have too much sparkle. And the sparkle from the shimmery white paper does show through. But look how much fun this is. Now let me take my other one that's already dry, and it's been sitting like this, so it's dry. But so you can see it a little bit better, because I don't want to move that one. So you can see the colors are a little bit different. This has a little bit more of the cherry. This one I got a little bit less. I forgot to do her beak until I put it on. I think I can kind of pick this up. Super fun. Again, 10, 15, 20% off, or join my team because that's the most fun you can have. We do a lot of fun stuff. We have a fun Facebook group. We have people literally from coast to coast, east and west, north and south, all over the place. So it's not like you have to be local to me to be part of it. So that's what I have. Make sure you're on my email list, subscribe. If you just pop over to my website, there's a pop-up there, and that's how you get on. Everybody have a great day. If you have any questions at all, then just let me know. Bye.